Hey, James here. One of these shots shows Jimmy Page lounging like he's got the world figured out in 1970. But by 73, the whole Zeppelin machine was cracking under the weight of its own success. 10 photos today. Stick around because the real stories behind them are messier than the myths. Look at this. Madison Square Garden, July 73. The peak. Sold out. Earth-shaking, filmed for what became The Song Remains the Same. They're at the absolute top. Houses of the Holy just out, breaking records the Stones and Beatles set. But here's the irony that still bugs me. This run was also the beginning of the end. Jimmy got told right before they walked on that their hotel safe had been robbed, cash gone. Instead of killing the vibe, it fueled one of the most ferocious nights they ever played. The crowd was jumping so hard the recording truck was shaking. Success that massive breeds chaos. Always does. CBGB 78. Johnny's already swinging that guitar like a weapon. Place smells like beer and ambition. Weird thing? The Ramones were playing here for years by this point. But 78 is when the world finally started noticing. They looked dangerous, but off stage they were basically these quiet Queens guys who loved bubblegum pop and horror movies. Total disconnect. Milan, Palalido, 1970. European tour kickoff with the new horn section. Bobby Keys blowing fire. Looks triumphant, right? But this was right after Altamont fallout. The Stones were still figuring out how to be huge without everything exploding. Mix out front owning it, but backstage there were constant money fights, ego clashes with new players. They were the biggest band alive and still felt like they had something to prove every night. Flea flat on his back, bass across his chest. Red Hot Chili Peppers hat, tattoos everywhere. Some book on the bed. 1992. Guy looks half asleep, half invincible. This is peak Pepper's chaos era. Blood Sugar Sex Magic had just blown up, but Flea was still living like a punk crashing on floors. That bass is practically glued to him even when he's down. Janis Joplin, late 60s, grinning next to that psychedelic Porsche with her dog riding shotgun. Full of life. 3 years later, gone. Just like that. Hits like a brick. RATM 93. Zach holding some shirt, all of them looking pissed and focused in front of that brick wall. They're about to drop the debut that changed rap rock forever. Irony hits harder when you remember these anti-corporate revolutionaries signed to Epic Records, straight-up subsidiary of Sony, the biggest machine in the industry. They knew it going in, raged against it on record, and still cashed the checks. That's what made the fury feel authentic instead of poser. Fight me in the comments if you think it was all hypocrisy. Rush in the 70s. Geddy, Alex, that early lineup with John Rutsey still on drums. Everyone thinks Rush was always this prog monster trio. Wrong. This is pre-Neil Peart. They were basically a hard rock bar band doing covers and originals that sounded like everyone else in Toronto. Geddy and Alex were kids, stoned half the time, playing high school gigs. Neil shows up in 74, writes lyrics that actually meant something, and suddenly they're Rush as we know it. People act like it was destined. Nah, it was one phone call and one ballsy decision to fire a friend that made the difference. Tyler and Perry, Honolulu 75. They're locked in, but you can almost see the tension. Aerosmith was on fire, Toys in the Attic era, but the drug issues were already tearing at the seams. Joe and Steven were brothers on stage, rivals off it. That dynamic made the music explosive and nearly killed the band more than once. Plant and Jones, San Francisco 73. Just sitting on gear cases, sharing a quiet moment amid the madness. This was during that insane tour, Same time as the MSG shots. They look tired but connected. Jones is the quiet anchor, Plant the golden god. Behind the scenes, these two were the glue when everything else was flying apart. Jimmy Page at home, 1970. Silk shirt, crazy pants, sitting on that bed like he owns time itself. This is pre-Zeppelin overload. He's young, rich, obsessed with Crowley and the occult, building his myth. Honestly, I think this is the last time he looked truly relaxed. By 73, the pressure, the road, the lifestyle, it all caught up. People romanticize the excess. I see a guy who was burning too bright, too fast. What do you think? Was the magic worth the cost?